We're going to be talking about the biggest updates about the student, travel, tourism, work, all kinds of visas in this video. If you're interested in going to the United States and you do not have a visa slot yet, this video will take care of everything end to end. I'm going to be telling you about the biggest updates and what you can expect in the future. The first one that we're going to begin with is the student visas. I know for spring 2023, most of you guys are worried right now if you don't have a slot. I'm talking about the FMJ visa applicants along with their dependents, of course. I have a couple of pointers for you over here, guys. Remember that there have been almost no openings in the last 4 weeks. The biggest opening happened on 29th October already, and if you did not have your I-20 yet, well, you're probably still waiting for a slot and hence you do not have one. Good news is that there's one major opening left. We are expecting it to be within December for the most part from our sources, and we are still hoping that this will happen sometime next week. Now, chances are this may be the same opening for rejected candidates and the people who have not gotten the visa yet. All right. Now, the chances are that this is going to be the only opening that you have left, no matter whether you are a first timer or a rejected candidate. Hence, you should always be monitoring. You should not take this lightly. One thing I'll tell you is that last time that we did this spring session, it's not a strong visa session. It's certainly not as strong as the fall sessions. What does that mean? That means that a lot of people, a lot of students had to defer their admission to the next term. That is, they had to go in for a fall session instead of being able to go for the spring one last time. Why? Because there's just not enough slots going around. Hence, you want to be making sure that you are always monitoring 24/7. It's critical. Do it with your friends, do it with all the people you know, really. It's completely fine, but always be on your toes because sometimes slots might just open up for 5-10 minutes and they may go away very, very quickly. But you don't want there to be a case where essentially you don't get a slot, right? And you have to defer. That's the worst case scenario and we're trying to avoid that. Now, if you're interested in something like that, and we can actually do that for you as well, if you do not have the resources to monitor 24/7, 4 a.m. opening or something of that sort, right? We can do it for you. If you're interested, you can take a look at the Visa Application Help Service on YMGrad.com service page, where again, we'll be able to not only help get you the slot, but also the visa stamped end to end, everything is covered. Let's talk about the work visas. That's the H-1Bs, H-4s, L-1s, L-2s, even blanket visas. All of them we're going to be talking about now. We did see some minor openings, I would say, in the last 4 weeks, but in the last 2 weeks, there have been very few, almost no openings. We still have managed to book a few slots. For instance, you can see this one on the screen, but the dates have been for the months of January, February for the most part, as you can see. These are very small openings, with just about 10 to 20 slots mostly. And again, getting these slots are hard, but it's not impossible, as you can see on your screen. We do expect openings in the future as well, but they're going to be a little bit limited since there were some major openings towards the end of November. But at the end of the day, we are still hoping that these smaller openings are something that we'll be able to capitalize on. So if you haven't gotten your slot yet and you need help with that or with the entire visa process, you can take a look at the Visa Application Help Service again on YMGrad.com. You can also connect with me on my WhatsApp number, which is mentioned right here under this video in the description. Finally, let's talk about the B-1, B-2 visas. That's the business and tourism visas. These are, of course, the lowest priority visas. That means that there's the longest waiting time for these visas. We are still in touch with a visa official who will keep us updated on any news on this scenario. So if you're interested in something like that, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we'll be updating you on the latest news about these topics as soon as the slots are opening up or as soon as we have any news of when they may open up. But that's only on our Instagram, so make sure that you're checking these stories regularly. As per the official, we have news that random small openings are planned, but we do not know exactly when they will happen. Again, more information, as mentioned, will be on Instagram as soon as we know more. Finally, the first timer slots, basically if you're applying for the first time, they will be a little bit delayed as compared to the Dropbox slots. Now, a little bit does not mean 2025, which is probably what you're seeing on your screens right now if you log in, but it means, 2023, but again, very few slots, even if you consider early 2023, and the openings are very, very limited. But they do happen from time to time. It's just that they're a low priority visa type right now. So again, you may have to wait for a little bit. Again, in this case as well, 24/7 monitoring is very important, and we hope that you are doing it. Generally, for the business and tourism visa types, it's not as easy to do it because there's no such people that you may know. A lot of people who are also traveling. In that case, you can always take it to the Visa Application Help, where we'll be working one-on-one on your case. So these were the biggest updates for the last 2-3 weeks, and this is what we're expecting in the future as well. If you want more information, always make sure you're following us on Instagram, and again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, where we'll be keeping you updated. Both these channels, end to end, whatever we know, you will have all the information. Until next time, goodbye. Take care.